seem to start living there too, so you kind of get it, right?
Hmm.
You get what it brings. Now remind me, how long have each of y'all played pickleball?
I mean, I've been playing. I don't know, like off, like consistently, probably like a year. I mean,
Okay.
but I started probably like 3 years ago, the first time.
I didn't know what pickleball was until August of last year.
Wow. So you're an original convert. Okay, we got
Laura brought me into this community that has enlightened my life so much. That's why we're sitting here.
Welcome to the cult. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
cult.
the cult. Yes. Yeah, well, I do joke that we're the only cult that actually is willing to call ourselves that. We're the only one that recognizes we are a cult. Everybody else is like, no, no, we are the truth. And we're like, no, we're the cult. We're a cult. But yeah, so you all already kind of get a sense of what like pickleball
Hmm.
brings to the table, right? It's that sense of community. It's a sense of it's a sport that is so easy to learn, but hard to master.
Hmm.
And when
Yes.
you compare it to any other sport, it's the
Hmm.
other way around.
Yep.
Yeah. Like trying to learn to dribble, soccer ball, basketball, hit a baseball, whatever. It's a different, completely different like learning curve at the beginning.
Hmm.
Once you figure it out, then it's just repetition from there.
Hmm.
But that's what pickleball draws so much from. I mean, I come from playing out here at Grant Park, Joseph Park. We're the originals of getting yelled at by the neighbors.
Okay.
Right before I opened this facility, I still had chalk, a leaf blower, and a portable net in my car. I mean, because just wasn't court availability.
Hmm.
Sounds like
Uh,
Rom.
yeah.
Yeah, that one right.
And so it's been quite the adventure, and for us, pickleball became that community and something that we wanted to kind of get back, because it meant so much to us, and from the personal side, it's very important, and seeing how it has changed people's lives, and we hear about it, especially here. We just renewed or about to renew another contract with a special needs school.
Oh wow.
That
Nice.
they had such a good experience. One of their kids went home and they were like, "We've never seen him this happy." The parent is now going to pay for the contract for all the other kids for the next round.
Hmm.
Wow.
Like they're going to do that, and so like those are those moments where for us it's just like that makes it all worth it. Where on the flip side, we hear from other facilities where it's just, hey, it's just open play. There's not really programming the way we do.
Mm.
And we hear it not being that environment that we, know and love from pickleball and the parks when we started in what we try to, foster here at Dill Dinkers.
Hmm.
And so that's where we are one of the top franchises in the nation.
Hmm.
We here in the Atlanta area like to do things a little different than even our own franchise company.
Hmm.
So we did buy the rights to the Atlanta region. So inside the perimeter, some of the metro around it as well.
Hmm.
And so we have most of the juicy spots in Georgia actually fall within our territories.
Okay.
And we did that for the sake of kind of protection, one, to allow us to be a part of it, but we didn't want just anybody coming in and affecting the community in a negative way.
Yeah.
So we want to play a part in as many of these as possible. So one of the, like many of the other regions, they just sell franchises
Hmm. Hmm.
as the developers. We decided we wanted to kind of take what we've done and continue to be a part of each of the franchises.
Hmm.
And having a part of each one keeps us from having the locations as competitors. We'd rather have them as collaborators. I
Okay.
mean, with any company, you can have two Subways owned by different people or two Chick-fil-A's. They're competitors.
Hmm.
They're fighting over the same customers. Whereas with our model, y'all know with our membership model, you can play at any Dill Dinkers, but also we wanted to, even then, we could potentially be competitors. And so for us to get the region and be able to build it out and have a piece of each one, it allows us to make sure that we're going to incentivize ourselves
Hmm.
to make sure it's all collaborative and works together. So with that said, real quick, just a few disclaimers to begin with. This is what I mentioned a minute ago, Linda, is with franchising with a established market and companies like Chick-fil-A, Subway, stuff like that, those that have been around for a long time,
Hmm.
they can give you direct numbers about we project this area to be this profitable, this area to be that profitable.
Mm-hmm.
With new markets, and with new companies, new franchises, especially, the FTC does not allow us to completely do that. Unless you are a sophisticated investor over, I think, a net value of like 7.3 million or something.
Mm-hmm.
At that, and it's a protection for the people we're selling to.
What is
because
it? What do you mean by you're not able to do what? Provide.
So certain numbers, like I can't share our P&Ls and things like that at West End, for example, to try to sell you on Kennesaw or any other franchise that we're trying to sell to you, because we could, in theory, just show you January or maybe July where it's hot or cold,
Yeah.
and they're really good numbers, but then spring may be a little slower, and you want to see those.
Yeah.
But so they require us to be open for a year and then be audited to be added to the franchise disclosure document.
Okay.
So on the franchise disclosure document, there are other facilities where the numbers are, funneling through there. We just haven't been open for a full year to be added to that yet.
I see.
And so sophisticated investors, those with net worth of 7.3 and above,
Yep.
FTC just assumes they know what they're doing. So they let us say talk about whatever we want. And so a lot of this is just understanding, I like sharing with y'all what we can.
Okay.
And you kind of seeing the opportunity of what it can become.
Can
Because it is an emerging market. There is a risk to the fact that it's an emerging market. That's both the blessing and the curse. It's a beautiful thing that we get to be a part of something. Like, imagine being part of the NBA or NFL before it became what it is today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this is we're on that precipice of being able to create something much bigger. Like, we're already partnering with the HBCUs in the area to create. One of the students wants to help create pickleball clubs across all HBCUs nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the ones getting to start it here. So it's stuff like that really is exciting for us.
Can I ask a few questions about what we were talking about? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Abby,
Yeah,
do you
go
mind
ahead.
if I jump in and ask questions? I don't know. Yeah, okay. And so you're saying that what you cannot share with potential investors are the financials with your with this facility specifically,
Right.
because it's been open less than a year. Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
And then if you're open a year, when do you circle a year? When does your
End of March.
End of March.
End of March. Yeah.
So theoretically, at the end of March, then we'd be able to have access to.
And at the end of March is when the timeline would start, where the main corporate could start having it audited to make sure that all the numbers are right, and then they would add it into the FDD,
Yeah.
which usually ends up by the end of that year. It's kind of annoying, but it's kind of. But even then, with West End, between West End and Kennesaw, the difference is, like, West End is not a pickleball area, to be honest. It is in town. It is there. The nice thing is, though, is there are a lot of pickleball players in town that often would drive out.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're giving them a spot, and it's been in Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the top markets for pickleball.
Yep.
Because we also have such a heavy tennis community.
Mm-hmm.
But we're 77th in court availability, and that's where the intersection comes. Is that our customers are from ages 8 to in the 90s. We have a guy in Columbia that Ubers 4 times a week who's 93.
Yep. Yeah.
And so that's the nice thing about the industry, is that everybody's our customer.
But you also said that there are other financials that are available for other facilities that have been established. Does that include
Correct.
the multi-year financial statement? As you might expect, I'm a finance person, so I
Yeah.
ask these finance
I can get
questions.
you right, and I can get you the FDD to look at.
What's the acronym FDD?
Franchise disclosure document.
Okay, right. And that would have the from inception to multiple years, so you could see the ramp up as it relates to your P&L and cash flow and that kind of stuff. That would be included in that.
if you don't mind, could you hold on just a second?
Yeah, take your time.
I need to grab one of my dogs. They apparently are fighting. Give me 1 second.
That's okay. We'll talk to Ram while you're gone. Ram, I gotta set up that WhatsApp list. I made a list.
Okay.
When can I do that with you? I know you're working, so I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, we can do it like tonight. I can either call you and
Just text me when you're available. Let me know.
right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
And thanks for letting me sit. Yeah, you guys. Thank you, ladies, for letting me sit on this. I know some of it, but some of it I don't know. So as we talk to many of our colleagues and friends and new people I'm going to be introducing, I'm helping screen this. So by the time Daniel gets to talk to you, right, you have just a general idea so that we're not wasting your time and his time.
Yeah, no,
appreciate
Daniel, I have to say that what you talked about from when you said that it's not just open play, it's more than that. It's event based.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman you have on this call right now demonstrates that to the you would not believe. I mean, I come to open play and I want to run back to Ram's group. Literally, because I've become friends with these people.
Thank you. Yeah.
And it's because of the way it's organized, you know.
Well, and that's where we've tried to do this throughout, because open play is a general thing that's done at parks. People do like it.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of doing that with programming. We're one of the few also that does things like we developed Dill Light because we like our puns.
Yeah.
And it's like a 3-week crash course, and that's part of the difference with us and some of the other facilities that only do pretty much open plays. You pay one fee and you do an open plays. But for beginners, they go in and they're intimidated. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. They don't have a group yet. The programming we do tries to foster and provide that space is safe for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it creates, and the difference between the two models is that other model tends to target higher level players. But the problem is those higher level players, sure, they can come in and play 5 hours a day. That's what they do. They love playing, so they're going to play 5 hours a day, but now they're taking up court space from other people.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why we do, hour reservations, 2-hour reservations, the open plays, timed events, things like that, because we have to be able to get people on and off the court.
Yep.
We also, it provides us the ability, if they need to raise money for their rent going up or whatever expense they got going on, they got 2 options. Increase the number of members or increase the price. And if you increase the number, you're just crowding the courts even more. People are not able to get on, and nobody likes that increased price.
Yeah.
So it's fabulous for players, but it's not a good business model.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's especially fabulous for higher level players.
Yeah, so I don't want to. Sorry, I don't want to occupy the financial conversation. I don't want to interrupt your presentation, but
that's all good.
But
it's all good.
So you're saying that the multi-year financial statements, the ramping up of the business of the facility, that's available with other examples, not just yours. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And y'all are also welcome to call other facilities. It's more so like it's a protection. Even though you guys trust us and we know each other and things like that, it's still a legal protection so that we don't try to oversell you something,
Yeah, makes sense.
Without having the full numbers yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it is like any small business. Some are going to ramp up faster than others. Some will be more successful than others. So you have to look at the different factors at play. So, for example, just to give y'all an idea, we are the regional developer for the area, but when we're looking at the population, a lot of these numbers don't even count the last year or two, and it's grown even more. And so with us, rather than having the one stream of revenue or even 2 of some coaching and maybe tournaments and then the open plays, we have 9 that we go after, and it allows us to adjust based on the area. So like down here, more events, more corporate events, ROM-like events, stuff like that are probably going to be more popular. We get up into Kennesaw, there's fewer large businesses. So now, most likely, it's going to be, and people aren't fighting as much traffic up there, right? So It may be more open plays, it may be more leagues, more lessons, clinics, things like that, rather than the events. But that's where our model allows you to kind of pull on the revenue string that matches with the area you're in.
Is
Just kind of
is the CAGR for the Atlanta market, or is that just in general?
That's in general.
Okay.
That's in general. But yeah, it's been definitely like that number. I think has even increased some since we last updated this.
Is that the U.S. based CAGR?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is all U.S. based.
Okay.
We've now, as a company, we're now almost at 30 locations. They just opened the 27th. They've got 3 or 4 more coming up in the next couple months. And I always joke that the other good sign about us is you don't really find us on Reddit where people like to complain about companies.
Right.
You don't really find us on there for that sort of thing. So that's always a good sign. But that's the piece about us being like Doe Dinkers itself, how they, not even us at our level, but all the way up the chain, build the whole system. Okay. From making sure. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was just gonna ask, like, what, like this region. What is the region? Like, what is it? All of Atlanta? Like,
Yes.
What is it?
It's all of Atlanta and surrounding outside the perimeter of the metro Atlanta area as well.
Okay.
We don't go quite as far south as McDonough. There is another couple that is looking to open one in McDonough, but that's outside of our territory. But we're here to help them out as well. Doe Dinkers does give us some flexibility to go outside our territory, some if needed, but only really if needed. So, yeah, for us, it's most of Atlanta or all of Atlanta with surrounding areas. Yes,
Okay.
Ron.
Question, is it Fulton County and the surrounding counties, that
All of
touch
them.
Fulton County? Is that it's considered
All
the
of-
region?
No, it's all of them, and I can show you the map here in just a minute.
Okay, sure, all right.
Yeah, I can definitely, yeah. So, I mean, these are just general stats, but yeah, we focus the nice thing with this franchise is the partnerships they build, things like the Pickleball Central. It helps us get open even faster because it's their inventory, not ours. So we're not even paying inventory up front. And so these are different steps that we've taken to really target and be able to open at a lower cost than other companies and be able to kind of get to a hopefully profit faster than others.
I'm sorry, Daniel.
and-
Can you say that one more time? What inventory you're talking
pickleball-
about?
So for example, an opening and
Yeah.
the support we get,
Yeah.
Pickleball Central, our store that's there. Before, this is just an example of how like the company continues to work to improve.
Yeah.
Before, we had to buy all our own inventory,
Oh, I
sell
see.
it, manage it.
Uh-huh.
Pickleball Central now, as a partner, we just get rev share from it.
Got it. Okay.
We get a percentage of the profits, and they supply us with the demo paddles. They supply us with all the inventory. They do allow us to add in our own, like our custom shirts that we have, and we're working on doing some more with that.
Yeah.
But just to give you another idea, the average household income, we do look for 100K and above. Our West End area is actually below that, and we're still doing what we're doing.
Is that
Kennesaw?
demographics of your clients or your customers, or is that just the area?
That area, the clients, once that area has that kind of average,
Yeah. I
is
see.
kind of what you're targeting.
Yeah.
Now we felt that West End was a unique case where even though it was a little bit under, we could pull from other areas
Which you have.
around.
Which you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Now Kennesaw is on the other end of the spectrum where it's about 117,000 average household income.
Okay.
And so that's already alone on the flip side.
So is this opportunity, is it specific to like the region, or is it just to like this new location, or what is the opportunity?
Right now it's for Kennesaw. We're looking for investors to get Kennesaw open. At some point it's kind of, we look at it as this. At some point we do want to do a raise for the region so that we can move faster. However, we see Kennesaw and West End as our prove it grounds. Like we want to prove to people that we're the right team to invest in. So Kennesaw is the next one that we're allowing some investors to come into, and then from there we can they would be the first we give options to for investing on a greater scale.
And what's the like biggest competition in Kennesaw? I don't go out there very much, so I don't know.
Nothing.
But
Nothing.
there's nothing. Okay.
There's a few small places that have the indoor, like that wooden basketball court. Like there's one called 575, but they share the space with volleyball, and so it's not even true courts. It's just that volleyball surface.
And then are there a lot of like outdoor? I mean,
Yes.
facilities. Yeah. Okay.
It is probably one of the, if not the busiest pickleball areas in Georgia. You have places like Shaw Park. They're about to add another 6 courts. For the longest time, they've done 4 players on, 4 players off, and then you sit and wait from 20 minutes to 40 minutes for your next game. That's how busy they've been. And yet people still go there.
Is it like, do you know? I mean, I'm just curious about like, is it like reservation type places, or is it like first come first serve, and then
It's public parks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it really does, and this is an area where most of us have played in. Most people know us already. They're actually begging for us to come up there, and that's just one of the parks, much less Oregon, so Lindsey Grant, and a few others that are up there that we will actually be sitting kind of right in a sweet spot for.
So you're raising for Kennesaw facility specifically.
Correct.
How much are you able to say how much you're trying to raise?
Yeah. We're the total amount that we're looking to raise is about 1.5 million. We have half of that now.
Okay.
And then have some other money on the side for that.
Yeah.
Just so y'all understand the market even more. This is and y'all kind of already see it. So this, I don't know if this is repetitive for you or not. You have the participation demographics. Everybody thinks it's an old person sport. It's not. I mean, 18% are 65 plus. Everything else below that, but even that, it's only 34% of that 18% are core players. The rest of them are spread out pretty evenly, going all the way down to 6 years old, all the way up. And this orange line on the region piece, that's our region, that's our area, the South Atlantic. And we're one of the top, and yeah, Florida influences that a lot, but like I said, Atlanta is the other one that's in that top 5 or 10 of the market for it. And so and that's, I think, goes back to only 2023. It's grown even more since then. But it's that accessibility that's just so great about it.
I'm sorry to derail you if you're going someplace, but you talked about a raise for at the regional level. Is there any dilution for the people that are I'll call it shareholders of the Kennesaw facility?
No, that's its own LLC.
Okay.
And so when you're talking about buying into Kennesaw, it would be in Kennesaw.
Okay.
So right now, until we have a region like a regional office developed, it would strictly be by location. Like we would even open up potentially for West End at some point.
And how would the regional raise? What would the regional raise be for then? For like corporate office kind of situation? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of, yeah. Basically being able to support a team that can then manage all of them, and then also have the ability to quickly, so this is where the nice thing about the market is.
Yeah.
The market, because it's an emerging market, it's doing this, right? It's blowing up, and then at some point it's going to start to contract. We're already seeing signs of that, like in Dallas, Pickleball Kingdom closed 3 in the same month. We have yet to close any. We're actually going the other direction. But as there's just been this gold rush from private openings to these franchises, and a lot of them have gone too far, too fast, pushing their franchisees into bad leases, things like that. We've been very careful on how that's done and created it where, like corporate, will not even sign off on a location if it's not the proper lease to protect us and them, of course. Y'all
Is there a
met.
goal of locations, like for the, because I mean, you said the whole region, it's like basically Atlanta. Like
Yeah.
how many are you, what's the goal number?
So the regions that we bought, 3 regions. The corporate's initial goal, which we're letting them know that may or may not be feasible, was 10 per region. So it'd be 30 total for our group. Now I don't know that the region can handle that much with as many competitors that there are, but I mean, even if we're getting half that, that's
So
pretty
you said
massive.
3, what are your other regions then? So Atlanta
Yeah,
and then what else?
it's 3 regions that make up Atlanta and the surrounding
Okay, and
areas.
those are, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
And so those
yeah,
3 are all you. Okay.
right. So just a quick, so you know, most of our team, you know me, y'all met Laura. She's VP of marketing at a global company down in Colony Square. Should be CMO, but it was one of those company moves where when the CMO left, they just relabeled it. So,
Yeah.
and she got that job. Stewart, he teaches up at Kennesaw State now, but he used to work for the U.S. Treasury and commercial banking. Uh, Dustin's our fintech guy. He's a more minority. He's a player at our facility, but he's more a minority stake with us. Now, I don't know if you guys know the what's it called, Blue Pearl vet company.
Yep.
So Evelyn's the one that developed a lot of the specialist rehab stuff and surgery things and stuff. They ended up buying her out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they have some knowledge from starting up a company and starting from there. Munir, he's our strategic advisor, but he's on board as owner as well. Him and his partner Salim, and I like to joke that we play the game of who does he not know.
Okay.
So, but he's the one that, for example, the location Kennesaw, we got better terms. He happens to know one of the owners of the property. He happens to also be very good friends with the new mayor of Tucker, and Tucker's been trying to get pickleball courts for ages now. So now we're having an opportunity. We're going to try to have dinner with her and see what we can do about partnering with the city there.
What is the location in Kennesaw? Where will it be? Or where are you looking at?
Right on Barrett Parkway.
Which, okay, tell me which way.
Where
I used to, yeah.
You know where the Target is?
Is
And
it
the
till, just when you get on
yeah,
75, is
hang
it
a
right or
left.
left?
Hang a left, and then
Okay.
the first right.
Okay.
Just
So
it's
right
off
off.
the other side.
So it's
Yeah,
like right off the interstate. Okay.
right.
I'm not even sure where
Um,
Kennesaw is, but that's.
Well, the reason I asked, I mean,
Oh my
Barrett
God.
Barrett Parkway is busy. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
why I was
it's
curious
huge.
where it was, like, because if
Yeah.
it's right off the exit, that's a heck of a lot better than being down,
It's
away.
right next
So,
to Urban Air.
yeah. Okay.
And I was there Saturday. Urban Air already has the parking lot packed. On one side, we would have the whole other side. I mean, talking about a complimentary business. That's families seeing us.
hmm
Parents can drop their kids off at the trampolines and come hit with us. And then the movie theater is right on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
yeah, I mean,
fantastic area.
it is really good. I mean, unfortunately, the only minor thing is it does still have high ceilings, just not as high as West End, but above the PPA required minimum. Yeah, these are just some rough numbers. Like again, I can't give financial numbers. These are just some that kind of give you an idea of those first 5 months of how we grew month over month with socials, with how many visitors we've got, with we haven't even updated these recently, the league participation, everything, and how it's grown consistently with the partnerships that we've had. We became a Southern Pickleball sanctioned location right after our first tournament because we ran it so smoothly, and now we increased our last tournament. We had 40% more participants in the tournament before that. We dropped from 230.
Do members make up and I don't know if this is on here, I'm sorry, but do the members make up the majority of players, like let's say at West End, or is it guests?
Actually, it's a mixture of both, and that's part of the piece that some of the other facilities kind of miss is they max out memberships and then don't really have a path for guests to come in. So when they lose a member, now they have to go find one to replace them. Whereas we build our membership, I will actually cap our membership at a certain point. just so that members will consistently be able to get on the courts and not be kept off from participating.
So you have 256, is that right? That's how many members?
This was in the first 5 months. We're almost to 500 or 400 now.
Can you share the goal? Like how many do you want?
Yeah, we want between 80 to 100 per court, and that comes down to how much the members participate. Because gyms where people will pay $30 and then never show up.
Right.
If the members are showing up a lot, we're probably leaning towards 80 or 90 max. If some are and some aren't, we can probably reach 100 per court max. But either way, we monitor that as it goes, and then hey, if it's getting so full that we can't fit people, that just means we need to open up another one in a more strategic location, right?
Yeah.
So in essence, this is kind of like the breakdown of how the investment works, and then I'll be able to give you the other piece. And then I just realized the other map of the region is not on this particular slide, but I can pull it up and share it in a minute. We went in a different direction than the rest of Build Acres. The rest of Build Acres, the regions sell franchises. With us, we're looking for investors to come in. They make a one-time investment. We're not asking them to sign on the lease. We're not asking them to take a risk of future capital or anything like that. And we're trying to accelerate you recovering the money you're putting in. And so if you're putting in, let's say $100,000, I'll show you the chart in a second, you're getting paid back proportionate in equity percentage up front until you reach the point of recouping the amount you invested. And then after that, we regain some of the equity ourselves for taking the risk of the lease, taking the risk of future capital, as well as running it, getting it off the ground, managing it, and overseeing construction and handling all the business side of those things. In essence, giving up our percentage on the front end is kind of a trust and incentive for us to get profitable sooner, which pays you back sooner and helps us regain our ownership as well. So it's like a debt equity payback with an accelerated amount. This is the basic chart right here. So in essence, again, we're looking for a minimum of 100,000. We've had some very rare exceptions, but 100,000, you're getting paid back up front. We're giving up our management fee percentage as well as the risk and sweat equity percentage and all that to help get you paid back as soon as possible. Now, the 4 to 7 years that's ballpark. It could be sooner. We don't expect it to go much beyond that. But if, for example, if Kennesaw does as well as we think it will, we can actually do the payback even sooner. But that gets you back your investment return. And then after that, it drops down to your stabilized equity that you keep in perpetuity. That includes anytime ownership is paid out and or we sell. If we sell, that's your percentage of the selling price as well. And so from there forward, it's just passive for you.
So so if you don't mind, I want to play back what I think I hear.
Yeah.
So with $100,000 investment, you're participating in 6.67% of the profit until you hit the payback of 100,000, and then once the payback down, you're stepping down to a 2.6% share.
Correct.
Because you've effectively withdrawn your entire investment. So that's the exit strategy, and you have in perpetuity. Okay.
Yes.
That's
and then in
interesting.
perpetuity you get, yeah. But again, that's if something were to go upside down for whatever reason, you're collecting that up to whatever point if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
They're coming after us for the lease. They're coming after us for maybe future capital and stuff. And it's taking the risk off of y'all as much as possible, minus just your choice of putting it, wanting to invest in something like pickleball. And you don't have to quit your day job. So you have us run it for you, have us, trusting us to build that back, get that all back to you.
What incentive do you have to pay us back as opposed to leaving the money in there and maintaining the equity share?
Well, right now, I would basically, you're getting the full
Yeah, yeah.
percentage for every 100,000. You're getting that full. That 100,000 is of 1.5 is 6.7, 6.67. So we're giving up our equity on the front end. So my incentive to get it as profitable sooner so that I can regain my equity. Otherwise, you're getting paid out first. All the investors are getting paid out. Now we're not getting anything until we are able to get you guys paid back sooner.
Right. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Not to think about
it. Yeah. Now to be transparent, I do personally. None of the rest of the team draw salary right now. I do currently draw salary.
Yep.
I was the only one that did leave my job to manage the entire thing. So I do draw some, but that's part of this regional model, right? Is what we will do is, for me, I will start spreading that salary out over multiple locations, which helps reduce overall employee expenses. Because in this model, or in this business, there's only certain expenses you can actually control. You know, you've got the fixed assets, they're courts, you can fit so many people on per hour, etc. So the things we can control is as good as possible on the lease and our, employee expenses. And so that's where we're working to get all of that down as much as possible.
Interesting. I have a few thoughts about it, but I'll
about
it. Yeah. I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, again, we're doing something a little bit different here in Atlanta than the other locations, because we want to, like, we feel it's actually in better interest for the area as a whole to have us be a part of them. And with the team that we have in place, they know that if we've got to get it profitable and get you guys paid back as quick as possible. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we're not getting much more than my salary.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at.
Can we talk about a couple scenarios? So let's say, for instance, year 3, the place goes under. Everybody loses their 100,000 effectively, right?
Effectively, and then we're losing out on the.
How long are your leases?
10 years.
10-year lease. So you have the risk of the 10-year lease.
And we have to back we back the lease on the guarantor and that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, where we. I've enjoyed my credit score. I would like to keep it.
Believe me.
I've enjoyed that nice credit score for a while. I would like to keep it there.
Yeah, the incentives are all aligned. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was say, Daniel, I work at Equifax, so I know a little bit about credit scores. So.
Yeah. So you get it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, that's where there's two different levels. There are two different types of risk here, obviously.
Yeah.
For me, it's also losing my job if it goes under.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing, because now I'm not employed.
So you're the guarantor, is that right? Or you
My team is. Yeah, okay. We're the guarantor. Yeah. So we're actually about to sign the lease today. We're already starting to sign it today. So all the guarantors are going to be on the hook. We got to get it open now. But and that's where we've also brought other forms of investment, like the region. We paid for the regions. So we already bought that piece. So we did put in equity there to try to, protect everything and to make sure that there weren't going to be conflicts within the region. Moonier's also helped in some of us, the way we've negotiated some of these leases. I mean, West End, for example, we got the landlord to build out almost everything there.
Really?
They spent, not counting the roof that they replaced afterwards, they spent about $1.5 million to build it out. Because I basically convinced them, I was like, look, if we were to leave, you get to keep the air conditioner, you get to keep everything. It's like, so you have nobody here. You need somebody to be your anchor. So we convinced them to actually build it out. Our rent is almost half of what it is up the street at Lee and White. And it won't ever go above what they today's rent is there in the next 20 years. And so those are the pieces where we brought so much strength to already help reduce the cost to get started, as well as, I mean, Munir's connections around the city as well. We just cut $22,000 off the architect fee for Kennesaw alone, plus some of the general contractor expenses as well.
How many locations would you like actively be pursuing at one time? So like you mentioned this one, and then I think you said Tucker was maybe one
So it's more of it's a combination of active and passive. Like we look for the opportunities, but also don't want to stretch ourselves too thin.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there's opportunities that come up that might be too good to, pass up. Even with that, these processes take a long time. I mean, it's taken us a couple months just to get this lease straightened out. So I'm constantly still working to look for other locations. We had an offer in a location that was, well, if he doesn't sell to somebody, he's probably going to have a business in the next year. And we've made an offer, and now most likely in the next couple months we're going to reach back out and see, hey guys, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
To the point where we might get him to just hand over the keys to us. We know he's not going to survive simply by how he runs it and the reputation he has. That's how bad it is. And if we went in there, it would turn around in no time. And it's in very prime area. But we constantly are looking for stuff. I'm not putting in letters of interest or intent at locations everywhere because I don't want to piss off all the real estate agents who are like, oh, you want to come? Oh, wait, you're not coming? But we are definitely, Munir as well as our other local agent are both commercial real estate agents. So we already have, as one of our owners, he's already got his foot in the door there. But yeah, so to answer your question shortly, yes, we're constantly open to other locations.
4 to 7 years seems pretty broad from a time frame perspective. What's driving that? Is that the
That's kind of an average for small business recovery.
Okay.
If we were a larger business, 3, 4, 5 locations, that changes the game a little bit. As being a small business, that's kind of an average of return from our research. Again, it is broad, but we aim to hopefully have it even sooner than that for places like Kennesaw, obviously. But I'd rather, that's kind of the range, dependent on, what happens with the economy and everything else.
But that's based on participation and membership and all. That's what's driving that, the ramping up of the business?
Yeah. Expected revenue, expected profit, so forth, that would affect how soon you get paid back.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let me see. I think that, give me a second. I can try to pull up that other map.
I have a side question here.
Go for it.
Somebody comes in 100,000, 200,000, whatever, right? But okay, Kennesaw may not be like it's just the idea just doesn't sell. Can they diversify their investment in other locations, even though we don't have a forecast for maybe Tucker or wherever, right? Yeah. Or is it just strictly for Kennesaw for now?
For the immediate future, it's just Kennesaw.
Okay.
But we have talked about the potential for those who want to diversify to be a part of West End as well, for example, or even future ones after that. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open to that. We don't rule it out at all. Let me see here, pull this up for you. Okay, so what I'm going to show you, it's kind of hard to see one of the regions. This Johns Creek, Duluth, and Gwinnett County, it's kind of a very faint green. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
And it even goes off the map a little bit. So going all the way up to that Beaufort area, that's one region, down Lawrenceville, Snellville's down here. We've already been looking, we had a potential opportunity between Snellville and Loganville. again, these are on paper what the regions are. The corporate franchisor, they allow us to kind of bend the rules a little bit to go in or out. Because Woodstock's a little bit out, but it's actually not too far from where we're going. So here's the Kennesaw site right here, right where 5 to 75 split. These are other potential locations that kind of planning for, but nothing locked in yet. Because right now, we're being very intentional, or I'm being very intentional on where we put these. Because going up this corridor of like Roswell, Sandy Springs, Alpharetta, Norcross area, there's already some competitors all the way up there. And so this is where I'm kind of letting them duke it out a little bit and then wait for that opportunity for when one of them fails or starts to fail, we can kind of come in, rebrand it, take it over, and add to our network. Because we're the only ones in the city that you can use your membership at any location.
From a pricing perspective, competitively, like where does, because I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. I think Atlanta Pickleball Center is all I have. So where does it rank in terms of like expensiveness?
Very, very similar. It'll depend, and that's because we do a build your own adventure. On average, the average player is probably spending less with us. The players that play more might end up sometimes paying more. But they're also getting a different service. Like I said, places like Ace and other places, you pay one fee and you come in and play open plays. Well, they're not doing Pickle and Pints. They're not doing Rom's, varsity group. They're not doing what we did, the Schmalentines that we did, or Galentines, or they're not doing any of that extra stuff. Yeah. And so they're getting a different experience with it, but they also don't realize that oftentimes over the course of a year, they end up spending less either way or similar, because when you go on vacation, the other locations you're paying $130 for that membership, but if you go on vacation, you're still paying $130. At ours, if you're paying that membership fee of $37.50, and then you're paying, but then you go on vacation for 2 weeks, or like me, getting injured for a month, all I'm losing is my $37. I'm not losing the full $130. And so there may be months where I might pay a little bit more, but then there's other months where I'm not even available to play, and it saves me that money. But yeah, on average, it's very similar pricing for the average player, but more flexibility.
I want to add another value point in here. One of the reasons, and ladies, you guys might know this, Daniel, I'm not sure if I shared this with you, the reason why I picked, and you should have seen my spreadsheet on when we went to APC, ITP, or whatnot, they had a flat rate, all you could eat model, right? But when I looked at their calendars for like the last, month and then forward, right, they had tournaments, they had leagues. So if our group wanted to plan the weekends, right, we had like 1 weekend out of an 8-week period. The concept of being focused on the member is to the side. It's all about the money. It's all about tournaments and leagues. Look at our group. Not all of us play. I mean, only a small percentage of us will do leagues, right, or tournaments. And that takes away. Imagine if we couldn't even do Saturdays and Sundays like we want to play on a regular basis, or at least 2-3 weekends a month. That would piss us off, right? Yeah. So the model is set up to keep the member in check. So that was a huge value add.
Well, and to that point, technically, the tournaments that's some of our biggest revenue. But we're very intentional that we only do it once every 3 months. We might help coordinate someone like a company's tournament, like we're doing KW this weekend. Keller Williams. Yeah. This weekend, but they're reserving the course for it, and so that's a little bit different. But we try not to rent it out every single weekend to groups like that, because what's the point for our members if they can't get on the course? Yeah. So we try to provide that variety, and Rom, I don't know if Kyle's told you, we're going to be participating in a inter-club league.
Yeah.
So we'll have members from our club play others, and to be honest, we are probably going to get our asses handed to us. because we cater to 90 to 95% of the audience, which is not the 4.5 and above players. But they also are the more loyal ones, or the ones that really love it. It's the community-based ones.
Yeah.
All the other ones cater to those high levels, so we're probably not going to do great. But that's okay. But that's what we try to tell them. Like, okay, y'all can go after all them. That's cool.
Yeah.
We'll take the other 95% of the population. So it's fine.
Yeah, I think
also, just within our group, ladies, look at who comes down here. Like, look, we've got people coming from Brookhaven, right? Look at Lisa, Lisa Rogers, and she's coming from Marietta, Smyrna, right? They're coming here because of what the people, right? And the group and the friends of friends that we make. So you have that. I don't see that happening at ITP. And I played there way before you guys met me.
Yeah.
We just found out about a situation with Liv, Kyle's girlfriend. She was at AMPC, the really big one that just opened up there, and was in Alpharetta or Roswell, somewhere around there. It used to be called the Cooler. It was like an ice skating rink. You know, they tried to back charge her for all her previous visits. She's like, I've been paying $16 each time I come in as a visitor. And they're like, well, the rate is $32 unless you are coming in with a founding member. And we see in your records you haven't been coming in with a founding member. She's like, well, I didn't know that. You don't post it anywhere. Well, we're going to have to back charge your car. I'm like, what kind of experience is that? He's like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's so much focus on just their bottom line and not really what makes the whole environment. But yeah, I mean, for us, it's this location, West End and Kennesaw are an additional proving ground. Those who come in with us on these early ones are the ones we want to give the first opportunity for additional investment later. Because at some point, when we get to a certain scale, like, we're not going to necessarily need more investors at a certain scale. At that point, we can kind of fund it through our own and do it that way.
A couple of questions. First question is, so is the P&L for the Kennesaw facility, does it include any corporate overhead charges?
Like royalty?
Yeah. Let's say, for instance, you own two facilities now. Are you charging? Is the Kennesaw responsible for the Atlanta company, or is it isolated to that facility?
It's isolated, so each one has its own LLC.
Okay.
Now, currently for West End, for example, the regional developer LLC and the LLC for West End all have the same members, so it's has the appearance it's the same people, but it's still two different LLCs.
Okay.
Kennesaw is its own LLC, and so it's responsible for its P&L. And it would not, the only thing it shares is if we decide, for example, a GM or somebody like Justin. If Justin, we're like, hey, you know what? He's good enough that he can oversee the programming of both. At that point, we would really just share his salary between the two.
Okay.
Rather than hire two different people, if it made sense. Currently, we're planning on just having like one programmer at each location, but we also focus very much on like, okay, you're at this location, you get bonuses based on performance here.
Yep.
You're there, so it is isolated between the two.
Okay.
Which is, for those who want to diversify, it does give you that option, right?
Yeah.
With West End being a little bit further along. In the long run, I think it's gonna do really well because that area is up and coming.
Yep.
Kennesaw, on the other hand, is already a really developed area with a lot of pickleball players, and they already know who we are. We built a reputation around town,
Sure.
and so that'll help us get off the ground even faster there.
Based on your experience with not your facility, but other Dill Dinker facilities, the size of the Kennesaw facility, what's the run rate from a profitability perspective once you get past the ramp up?
Well, it's going to depend. Honestly, we've had some locations that have been cash positive day one. Some locations have been cash positive by the end of the year.
No, what I'm saying is once you get past the ramp up of, and you're in a steady state, let's call it steady state business. Do you know what the return is, or the profitability in a facility this size is approximately?
Yeah, this is where I have to toe the line because it is very much the question that FTC doesn't want me to just.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about your facilities. I'm talking about Dill Dinkers in California as an example.
Right. Well, and that's where I have to be careful that I'm remembering the facility. Remember, some of the facilities haven't been open for a year, so. I mean, but it is the example. There are some that there's practically no ramp up period. They've been day one been able to return. And I know, for example, Columbia would be a good example. That's their first founding one. They've had 3 years.
Yep.
The very first year, they went from 6 courts, had to expand to 12 courts within 8 months.
Yep.
That return, the EBITDA of that year was around 16%.
What year
was
that?
First year.
In the first
that
year?
was the first year.
Okay.
And so they were